morning. Happy Easter. How you doing? Whew. Time for some coffee as I wake up. Very horrible night's sleep. I'm definitely gonna need me some of this stuff. How's everybody doing? I can't promise a big old long chat this morning, but I definitely got to touch base. Oh, definitely got to touch base because it's my Saturday, Sunday. I like the routine on the weekends. I know I've come on and done a couple of spur of the moment random hellos. Oh, hello, morning, y'all. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but I might be able to stay on a full hour. I really don't know. I had a rough night's sleep last night. It was just one of those. Well, ever since yesterday evening, I started feeling some energetic shifts. Anybody else feeling that? We feel it hardcore around here, you know, and I just started feeling weird. Just like started feeling like my skin was vibrating, and nothing too terribly new. It's not something that's never happened before. But me and Leah have just really been saying like, "Ooh, man, I feel it." Some sort of energetic shift, some sort of energy download, or some sort of and ended up staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning and just tossed and turned all night. So, it interrupted my sleep. Y'all feel that too? Yeah. I don't really know how to put words to it though. I don't really know how to put words. I mean, I could put words to it, but y'all know me, man. One thing that I really like to put my own individual, like, and it's not just to stand out. It's, because I could say things like, "Ooh, I felt an energy download yesterday," but you hear people say that shit all the time. It's just like, "Oh yeah, oh okay, yeah." Well, so for me, like, when I say things like that, I'm like, I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm not playing. I'm not just saying something to sound cute. Oh, energy download. Ooh, sounds cute. It might make people think I'm spiritual. No. When I say that, I'm like, for real, dude. You know what I mean? So I try to find my own way of describing it, but there's just no like legitimate words you can put to that without like sounding stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah, I felt like my skin was vibrating. you know. But anyway, so yeah, yesterday was one of those days where there was lots of downloads, and I had a difficult time sleeping last night because of it. I think she did too. We both laid there awake until I said, "Babe, it's getting late. Almost midnight." She goes, "Oh, damn." We usually don't stay up that late. Anyway, we got some Easter stuff to do for the kids today. All kinds of cool stuff. How's everybody else doing? You feeling those energy downloads, y'all? Yeah, everybody feels it. I mean, well, one of the things that I've learned and observed on the path is that there's certain things that happen collectively, and you can tell. And it's just kind of interesting to watch people that have no idea what's happening. Observe people that have no clue what's going on, especially those people. And I know at least every one of you, somebody who like refuses to believe it because of their religion or some stupid shit like that. So they're always like trying to make excuses, They're always trying to make, "Oh no, that's just something like that." And they always try to make some excuse for it. Some kind of scientific, logical excuse for it, like thinking that science and logic and spirituality and mysticism are like separate, and they're not. Cracks me up, man. I like bridging the gap between those two things. That's one big thing that's going to be happening more and more and more and more. More and more as we continue down the path of raising the vibration of this planet. You know what I mean? We are living in the most interesting time in our recorded history. Oh, yeah. As a kid, I always used to wonder, like, why doesn't anything cool happen now? You read about all the, because I had to go to church when I was a kid, right? I was raised in a real strong Methodist Christian household. And I always wondered, why does all the cool stuff have to happen a long time ago? Why is it boring now? I always wondered that. And when you read like the history books and stuff in school and whatnot, even though those are all a crock of shit, still, it's like, why did all the cool stuff have to happen a long time ago? Why isn't anything cool happening now? And little did I know, little did any of us know, we're gonna live through like one of the biggest things that's ever happened in our recorded history. Oh, anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Still waking up. Y'all caught me. I just literally jumped right out of bed, man. Literally jumped right out of bed. Everything's probably gonna be closed today too, isn't it? Oh well. What you all up to, man? What y'all up to, dude? People ask, try to explain. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah. I don't even try to explain myself anymore. I don't even bother. I mean, like I said, for a long time, I lost the passion for a while. I was obviously in that position at one point to where it's like, I really, 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 really want to like explain myself and really want to get you to know. And then I like lost the passion. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't like, I have no desire to sit and explain myself. And a lot of times though, for what I do for a living, having to explain some of these things is required. So I had to relight the fire to get that passion going to explain certain things that I've just chucked aside and said, man, like I was telling y'all yesterday, well, especially when it comes to things of I guess you could call it a spiritual nature, but just an energetic nature. I gave up on the desire to explain things to people, and now I do it for a living. I do it for a living now, so I had to find the passion again for that. Tell you you're going to hell, whatever. Well, here's the cool part too. Here's the cool part, and this is how convoluted it is. Okay, and these are paths that I usually. It's not that I want to stay away from them. It's that I like to try to make sure I've linked up to enough people, because it took me forever to be able, like, I was spoon fed, and I'm still being spoon fed, new information, at my level of understanding, so as far as people and their like spiritual beliefs and whatnot, this is how convoluted it is. This is how complex it is. At some point, everybody is going to go to a timeline where they experience what it is, some version of what it is that they believe that suits them unfold. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's how crazy it is. That's how creative we are. So there's really not a whole lot of, because I mean, well, I'll just leave it at that. Because the universe, like we always say, it has no choice but to keep handing you evidence that supports whatever you believe. So eventually, everybody is going to go to a timeline where, and it's not that what you believe is the truth, but you will see it in a way that matches what you believe, if that makes any sense, So even at that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be as open as possible. I want to be as open as possible and not closed off to some little, but I mean, not everybody has the ability, I guess. I don't know. I guess I try to make excuses for people, but maybe it comforts me to not think that I'm on a planet full of idiots, because it scared me for the longest time when I thought, oh my God, man, there's no way. So I try to like understand, understand where people are coming from, So I'm always trying to like live in their mind and find understanding as to why. How do you not comprehend this? How do you not comprehend this? So I'm trying to, I like try to live in their mind, like, oh, okay, I get it. Maybe they're just scared, or maybe like I try to put myself in a position where like I got a bunch of pressure being put on me from my family, even though I've never cared about that. I don't know. I always try to figure out a way to understand. That's one big thing I've been working on for the past few years. I used to be real impatient with people. 2020. That's one big thing I learned in 2020 that this transformed me, is to be patient, kind, and understanding. It taught me a level of patience, kindness, and understanding that I never knew that I had. Big time, big time. Working through distortions and illusions. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. And I remember those good old days. But it just, one thing, isn't it so frustrating though? Like for me, I was put on a path, and I was told by, psychics and whatnot for a long time that I have a big mission, and I didn't believe it. I thought that was stupid, I just wanted to be normal. But it seems like a lot of those things, I was thrown all those things at a very young age, and all that shit, it's like it got thrown at me and I got kicked over to the brink of death. But I wasn't allowed to die, you know what I mean? And I went through all that stuff much, much younger. And that's why sometimes it would get so frustrating seeing people my age and older. It's like, man, I learned that when I was 20, But yeah, I get it. Yeah, people are going through all kinds of soul contracts and clearing karma and all this stuff. And that's cool. That's cool. I'm just not a long-term human. That's my thing. I'm not a long-term human. I haven't been recycled on the karmic wheel for a million lifetimes here. A couple, maybe 10 at most, but I'm not one of those long-term humans that's been around since the creation of this game. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want to do my job and either live through the transformation of this planet or get the hell off of it after I do my job. You know what I mean? Like one of the two. If we could go ahead and hurry up and change this planet, here in our human lifetime, then that'd be cool. Maybe Earth will be a cool place to hang out, But not that old 3D shit, man. No, man. I ain't with that old 3D. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a cool game. It's really intense. I mean, I see why some entities get so addicted to it and keep coming and playing this game, but it ain't not my deal, man. I don't dig that intense 3D shit. Not really. Not really. Not really. Oh, boy, it's an intense one though, isn't it? Whoever created this game was very creative. Actually, a lot of entities helped create this game. I mean, we're all creating it as we're here anyway, but the original idea to take, I'm gonna take dark and light, and I'm gonna separate them. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna fractal that down. I'm gonna keep fractaling duality down into this vastly complex sea of duality, that just, very, very intense, very creative. But I'm good on this though, I'm sure there's games out there that, of course, I remember some past lives. I just can't think of what the hell. Like I've had strange memories since I was a kid, And it's not really like memories of who I was. It's just I see things, like I'll see places, and I can have past lives of 3D like dimensions, but Definitely nothing is heavy and low vibe and intense as Earth. You know what I mean? Much lighter and I can remember, but I just can't really put a big long memory to it. I've been like this since I was a kid. There's some place that I remember. And I've remembered this since I was a kid. And as a kid, it was like I didn't think twice about it, you know. And then shortly after, once I got into my teenage years, started doing drugs and drowning all that stuff out, and then pop out of all that stuff in my late 20s, and then those memories start coming back again. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's weird. Why didn't I? I wish I would have paid more attention to what this was when I was a kid, but I didn't. It was just like common sense to me. Like, yeah, there's this place that I miss. You know, I thought everybody had that. I thought everybody remembered this place that they kind of miss, and this isn't it. And it was just regular, average, normal common sense to me when I was a kid. Yeah, there's this place that I want to go back to that I miss, and or maybe find something here that reminds me of that place. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's really, really hard to explain. I've been struggling to try to explain it for several years now. So, yeah. Oh. I don't know how else to explain it. See what I'm saying? Like here this morning, I'm trying to put words to certain concepts in my mind that you all think I know how to explain things. Man, that's nowhere near the things that I do explain. Like that's like a fraction of what's actually in my head that I can't explain. You know what I mean? Know the main, Vern. This black coffee. This is the way to go. Yeah, I know I'm a star seed. Oh, I know that now. And it like nothing really started making sense until I found that out. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. Naya's Corner of the Universe. For those of you who I haven't seen her. She hasn't been on YouTube in about a year. She'll do that sometimes, but she's the one that really, 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 really helped me like understand a lot. I would have to say that. As far as my understanding of the nature of the Earth game and all this stuff that I have now in this lifetime, a huge portion of it was assisted by her. That's another thing that I don't understand is that like long-term humans, long-term entities that have been playing this game for a long time, like they've gotten to a point to where they're so fixed in their amnesia that they think all this stuff sounds crazy. And I was the opposite. I didn't start leveling out until I awakened. Before I awakened, my eyes popped open, I was crazy. None of this made any sense. Nothing in this human life made any sense at all. Like I was, you know what I mean? My head didn't start leveling out until I really began my awakening path, So I was kind of the opposite. And then that's when I started to become, for lack of a better phrase, more normal, because I was a buck wild kid. I was a weirdo. I was strange. And a lot of people, once they start awakening and they start, then some people kind of go crazy. I was the opposite. I was crazy my whole life until I began to awaken. And that's when my head started to level out, That's when my head started leveling out. So, yeah, there's a lot of us that feel like we don't belong. Oh yeah. And man, it drove me nuts. But now looking back though, it's like I wasn't supposed to belong. Duh. Like if I could explain to you how many times I desperately tried to fit in to something or some group of people, I desperately tried to, and spent so many years like really depressed because I'm so weird and I don't want to be weird. I want to be normal. I want to be like everybody else. I want to be able to fit into the human games, the human shit that humans do, and I've never been able to. And it wasn't up until the past probably about 3 years that the light bulb popped on, the Ace of Swords moment. It's like, I wasn't supposed to. And it's funny looking back and seeing, and just looking back on my story to how the universe wouldn't let me fit in with anybody. And it was just like deliberately put in place Like I can see every person that I ever encountered. It was deliberate on purpose. Was not supposed to allow me to fit in. Like I was supposed to be outcasted in every group that I was tried to be in, every job that I tried to work. I was always the weird one. Like no matter where I went, didn't matter. I was always the weird one, It was supposed to be that way. It makes sense now. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. I see it with 100% clarity now because I wouldn't be here. And not that this is the ending point, but now my path makes more sense to me now. You know what I mean? It makes more sense. So there's a lot of us just that I would suggest that because now we all have a different path. Every last one of us is doing something different and whatnot. But for those of you, if you're like me, if you really, really struggle not being able to fit in, not being able to find that relationship where anybody understands who you are, or not being able to really make friends that you fully connect with, just hold a space, because I can tell you from my experience, you're more than likely not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to help create something new. You're here to help create a new world. You're not supposed to fit into that old world. That's the whole point, is we're tearing that old world apart. See what I'm saying? We're tearing that old system apart and building a new one. So why the hell would I fit into that? Makes sense now. So just hold on a little bit longer. That's what I'd say to anybody out there struggling with that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, it is hard to fit in here. It's difficult unless, some people are just natural smoke blowers. You know what I mean? Some people, they just know how to naturally blow smoke up your ass and be fake, It's always been so, I've always struggled with that so much. It's like to fit into any group or clique or whatever, it requires having to be fake, And I've never been good at being fake. I've tried, and it's just like, when I try to be fake, the more awkward I look. And the more, I'm horrible at it, dude. I'm terrible at it. I suck ass at it. If I try to be fake, or if I try to fake something, I'm not a very good actor. Not really. You can see through it. You can smell through it. Yeah. So anyway, that's why it's all good now though. It's all good now. I'd rather be hated for you are. Yeah, I feel you. On that. Oh, there's a lot of people that hate me. I don't care though. I didn't do anything to them. Well, especially with what I do for a living now. 90% of the people, if not 95 to 99% of the people who get pissed off at me, they get mad because I made them look at themselves, I can tell you the number of people that try to attack me. You know why? Because I made them take a look at themselves and they didn't like what they saw. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's how I know that what I said was accurate, if it pisses you off that bad, If it makes you that mad, I feel you. I had to go through the same thing when I was on my awakening path, Yeah, I'm envious people. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of those, too. A lot of those. But oh, well. I don't know. I got on to a point where I understand how it feels to be envious, but if I see somebody that I feel envious of, I use them as motivation. Let me get to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to, why don't you tell me? I want to learn how you think. I want to learn how you operate. I want to be a fly on the wall at your house. Because if you have what I want, I can't say I want to be like you, but I want to learn your secret. I want to learn what you do. I want to use you as motivation, Like people at the gym. When I go to the gym and I see somebody who's and they're all built and they're cut, and it's just sweet. I want to get to know that person. I want to watch what you do, and I want to try to find out a way to do it too. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can use energies like that to your advantage or your disadvantage. And some people use envy to their own disadvantage, Because if you're envious of somebody and you're attacking them and throwing doo-doo at them, all you're doing, do you think you're hurting that person? You really think that like that person is like, oh man, oh damn, somebody who like there was this person one time. There was this person, I shit you not. This was like a year ago, but this is like stood out in my mind, and it made me feel so bad. I felt horrible, dude. They like tried to convince me that I was a failure and that I was unsuccessful, and they wrote out a long paragraph, and that they're more successful than me because they have a real job at Domino's. You know what I mean? And my heart just sunk for this person. I felt so bad. I'm like, dude, the level of empty and the level of self-hatred that you have to feel to try to come and attack me, and try to convince me that I'm like, what do you think I'm gonna be thinking in my head? Do you think I'm gonna be like, oh man, oh dude, you're right. I need to go get a job at Domino's, man. What am I thinking? What am I doing in my life? You know what I mean? Oh man, you really gotta, you have to feel compassion for people, You really, yeah, yeah. You really gotta feel compassion for people. Because like, if you were open and you like, see, the problem is a lot of people don't believe that it's possible to get out of the situation that they're in life. And I totally relate. I totally relate. Oh, that's nothing, Lauren. That's just one little story, But if the sad thing about it is like, dude, if you just believe that it was possible, I could help you get out of that position that you're in. But you have to believe it's possible first. If you don't believe it's possible for you to change your life, then you're never going to be able to. The very first step is believing it's possible. Period. You can do everything else. I can sit and I can break it down to you to a science, quite literally. But if you don't believe that it's possible for you, it's never going to work for you. Period. Period. It's never going to work for you. So, and then at that point, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, you have to step back and you have to say, okay, like whoever that was that said something about people who are caught up in soul contracts and stuff like that. There's a lot of people, okay, well, that's what you came here to experience. That's a big pill to swallow on the spiritual path. That's a big pill to swallow. Some people really struggle with that, is to understand that there's some entities who specifically came here to experience on purpose. They came here to experience the low vibrational 3D intense, abuse and poverty and struggles. I shit you not. I shit you not. There are some entities that's the only reason they came here to play this game is because they wanted to experience that. Oh, yes, there is. And they're not very hard to pick out either. They're not very hard to pick out. Those are the ones that will fight you. They will fight you if you try to help them. If you try to help them, or if you try to help heal them, or if you do anything that's going to break that game that they're playing, and they will fight you, like not literally like fight you. Well, some of them might, but they will, like, they'll call you names. They'll like, and it's just like, oh, that entity wants to play that game. I better back away and let them play that game then. You know what I mean? That's a huge one. Yep. Could be a karmic debt. You never know. You never know what entities are doing, You never know. Not every one of us came here to awaken up out of this game and change it. Not every last one of us did. There's some entities playing this game and playing those heavy, intense 3D games because they want to, You just have to let them. You just have to back off and say, okay, you play your game then. You experience whatever it is you want to experience. Okay, cool. My bad. I didn't mean to infringe on your game. It's the only thing you can do, So anywho, that's why, like, when people come to me and they ask me, like, advice on being some sort of like, I want to be a healer, I want a career in the metaphysical field of either Reiki healing or tarot card reading or being a psychic or channeling or something like that. And I always tell people the only thing you can do is focus on you. The people who want and need to hear your message will be brought to you. You can't go out and try to pursue it. You can't go out and chase people down. Don't go looking for them. They're out there. The minute you focus your energy on you, they will be brought to you. Universe will bring them to you. Don't underestimate the intelligence of everything that's going on around you, you know? And you'll kind of get in your own way if you do it any other way, you know? Focus on you. Focus on your own healing. Focus on your own awakening and your own relationship with your guides and with the other side and whatnot. And the people who need to hear what you can teach or what you can give them will be brought to you, you know? That's a promise. Don't underestimate the other side. Oh no, that's a promise. And there is science to explain. There's science to explain that. How many of you have come to me for a personal reading and I've explained to you the science of how that works? There's a scientific explanation as to why you can't go looking for them. There is a reason. Anyway, though. Yep, be a beacon, that's right. Yep, be a beacon. And those people who are looking for the light, they'll find you. They'll find you. Yep. So, anywho, we're getting to a point that we're moving into a day and age where, and this is the funny thing too, because this really is the day and age we're moving into, where money is going to be meaningless. It's going to be meaningless. Completely and totally meaningless. That's why it's so important. Not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons why it's so important to not worry about money. It has nothing to do with money, you know? Right now, while money is the driving force in the world, that's just something we have to deal with. There's nothing we can really do about it right now. So, okay, that's a bonus. That's a bonus for right now. But we're moving into a day and age where money is going to be meaningless. You're not going to be doing anything for money. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be worried about money anyway. So then there's some people in the future who, if you don't get the habit of doing it now, are going to be really, really struggling and just discovering, you know, what it is that you're passionate about or what it is that you're good at. You know, we got to take money and we got to put it over here somewhere. Money's not a bad thing. I'm not one of those people who are saying money is bad. No. But don't worry about it. That's not important. What's important is figuring out what you're good at, figuring out, you know, what you're passionate about. And if you follow that fire, if you follow that passion, that is what will help you discover what you're good at, you know? And in some way, shape, form, or fashion, if you just straight up follow your passion, follow your heart, you will be led straight towards, and it's, again, so many of us are so programmed to chase money that they have no idea what they're passionate about. They have no clue what they're good at. Well, what would you do? Think about it. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow, and this isn't how it's going to work, but I'm just using this as an analogy. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and everything was free? Everything was free. Everything. No longer had to pay bills, no longer had to pay rent. Now, like I said, that's not the way it's going to be, but just picture that. It's very similar. It's going to be something, it's going to be close to that. Imagine everything was free. You didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to pay bills, didn't have to pay for gas for your car, or for those of you who drive a Tesla, you know, and or you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to pay for nothing. Then what? Think about it. A huge part of your daily routine and your thought patterns and your emotion patterns would be brought to a dead halt. What would you do with your life? What would you do with your life? There'd be a lot of people who would start to get really fucking depressed. Really depressed. Because now that you don't have to chase money, what are you going to do with your life? There's a lot of people that will go through a depression, you know, because little do you know, you have been training yourself to chase something. You've been training yourself to work for something, you know, and when that thing is no longer available to be chased or worked for, and it's not there anymore, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life now? Think about that. I know at least one person needs to hear that. Really, really, really put yourself there and imagine, because that's not very... It's just an analogy, right now, but that concept is not very far out of reach right now in this day and age. I promise you that. Promise you that. Hmm. What would you do? That's why it's important to follow your passion and follow your heart. Because every last one of you out there, every last one of you is really, really, really fucking good at something. Everybody has, like, I don't like to use the word gift, but for lack of a better phrase, everybody has a gift. Everybody out there is like, there's something that you can do that nobody else can do it like you know? And there's something out there that you are the best, that nobody can do it better than you know? You got to find what that is. You got to train yourself to start following that fire, following that passion, that feeling, you know? It's not stupid. It's not silly. You're heading on the right path when you do that. And yeah, depending on how far away from that you've gone, it may make you feel really weird and really strange, because there's some of you out there who aren't used to doing that. You know, you have to break up out of that old thought pattern. Make sense? Do 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 do. Superpowers, yeah. So, whenever somebody comes to me and asks me something like, would this be a good career for me? You know, is this what I should be doing? Well, there's a series of things. I'll always, if you come to me for a personal reading, I'll usually always give you some thought-provoking things to think about. I'll kind of poke at your mind a little bit just to fire it up and get it thinking, you know. But one of the things that I like to say is, would you do it for free? That's a good way. If I'm thinking, man, would this be a good career for me? Ask yourself this. Just ask yourself this. Would I do this for free? You're not even doing it right now. You know, people say things like, should I read tarot cards? Should I try to become a tarot card reader? And would that be a good career for me? Well, are you doing it right now? Are you doing it right now? How much time have you spent studying those cards? How much time have you spent playing with them, and like, how much energy have you already put into it? Would you do it for free? What if it was impossible to make money reading tarot? Or what if it was impossible to be paid to whatever, you know, give readings or be a Reiki healer or whatever the case may be? Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you do that? If the answer is no, I mean, that's not a guaranteed deal breaker, but that's just something to think about. Something to think about. Always ask yourself that. Would I do this for free? If you wouldn't do it for free, you're probably not passionate about it. Probably not. We do come up with ways to, like, if you're working like your day job or whatever, and I used to do this too. Every last one of us has done this. We'll come up with these ways. I'll find a way to kind of deceive myself into feeling like I love this job. You know, it's kind of complicated, but I love this aspect of the job, you know, and I'll really focus on this thing that I like about it and train myself to start loving it. But if I woke up tomorrow and the boss said, "Oh, damn, man, I'm bankrupt. I can't afford to pay you. Can you come in and work for the next month for free?" You'd probably be like, "Hell no. Hell no, I ain't doing that." Just think about that. Just some things to think about and see where that thought leads you, you know? Oh, man, I'm already out of coffee. Hang on, y'all. I need to be hydrating anyways. My kids are up. I can hear them down the hall talking. Here in a few minutes, it's going to be time to do some Easter stuff. Get the good old water in the system. Get good and hydrated. And I failed to think, too, I didn't really think ahead, that I kind of wish I would have made my cheat day today. I usually have one cheat day a week, and I did it on Friday when Tracy came over, you know, because I knew that we'd be going out to eat and stuff like that. And it's not that here in Vegas, there's enough places to eat where, you know, pretty much anywhere you go, you can pick something clean. You know, like I just want a piece of chicken breast with a side of broccoli and maybe some white rice or something like that. But I thought, no, I'll go ahead and make it Friday. And I was like, well, damn, man, now I can't eat Easter candy with the kids today. Oh, well, it's all good, though. It's all good. In the neighborhood. Yep, hiding some eggs. Yep, we're gonna be hiding some eggs. Well, thank you for tuning in. Is it Lee or Leah? I always suck at pronouncing names. You hungry now? I'm not hungry yet. Not yet. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Probably eggs and oatmeal. That's my normal. My normal. Oh no, I got turkey sausage. Oh yeah. That's my favorite, dude. Turkey sausage is bomb. That's one that I'm not big on pork. Not real big on pork. So I don't eat like regular sausage or bacon or anything like that, but I loves me some turkey sausage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I did clear it through Andrew too. I said, that's okay, isn't it? He said, yeah. He said, just make sure there's not like a whole lot of like fat or anything in it. But with sausage, it's usually just certain spices mixed with the meat. You know, he said that should be fine. So I was like, yes, because I love turkey sausage. I love it, dude. Went out last night and grabbed Miss Leah some snacks, because this is that, the time of the month rolled around where she's starting to, she wanted some snacks. Let's just put it that way. So I was like, well, what do you want? She's like, I don't know. I was like, well, you figure out what you want and tell me, and I'll go to the store. So I was at the store, I grabbed a few things. I was like, oh man, I need some turkey sausage, dude. I grabbed 2 rolls of it. I love that stuff. Love that stuff. Ooh. Do 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 do. The opposite of Leah. Huh? Do do do. Gave up meat. That's cool. I did that one time. I went the whole time I lived up in Maine, matter of fact. The first year, I went meatless for a year. And I only did it for a reason. Because this was right around the time where there were you know what I'm saying, and I miss this, honestly. I kind of miss that time where it was, spirituality and, awakening was real big, and it was just popping off on social media and stuff like that. But I remember seeing the whole vegetarian versus meat eaters arguing on the internet all the time, and I would just see that everywhere I would go. I would see the people arguing, about being a vegetarian and meat eaters. So there was so many people. The one thing that gets on my nerves, one thing that really gets on my nerves is when you argue with nothing but your opinion, nothing but your opinion. And so I said, okay, well, I want in on this argument. But I don't feel like I have any facts. So the best way to get some cold, hard facts is for me to do it myself. The best way for me to get some cold, hard facts there's no better way than hands-on experience. Same reason I learned how to read the tarot. So I was like, man, dude, I'm not feeling these YouTube readers anymore, man. They're not giving me the answer that I want. I could go to a personal reading for somebody, but I'm broke and I don't want to risk, wasting my money. I'm going to learn the cards myself. So that's what I did with the meat thing, So I said, all right, I'm going to stop eating meat, because I went in on this argument. The meat eaters, usually meat eaters, are like, you need the proteins and blah, 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 blah. And like they basically are postulating the idea that if you remove meat from your diet, that you're going to be malnourished. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to remove meat from my diet completely. And if it's correct that we absolutely need it, I'll end up malnourished at some point, And actually the exact opposite happened. I had more energy. I felt more energetic, much more energetic. And like my moods, if I would kind of find myself in a bad mood, it was easier to pull myself up out of a bad mood. And I felt lighter on my feet, and I felt like I had more energy. I wasn't so bogged down, you know? Oh, yeah. And I went without meat for a whole year. And the only reason why I did it was to see. And I'm not scared to experiment, you know? Well, if my body really, really has to eat dead animals, then I guess after some point I'm going to end up malnourished. I'm going to end up malnourished and weak and lethargic and whatnot. The exact opposite happened. The exact opposite. So I was like, damn, we don't need fucking meat. We don't need it. No. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, though, well, especially here lately, I've really been backing off of, like, if I'm going to eat meat, I back off of the big animals, big, heavy, dense animals. You know, like I'm not against eating beef. It's just, you know, you got to be picky. You got to be picky. I'm picky about it, you know? So it has to be like grass fed, which I stray away from beef for the most part, just chicken, fish, and turkey, you know, light meats, you know, so. But anyway, though, yeah, that's the reason why I did that. So I went a whole year, dude, a whole year with no meat. Now I wasn't full on vegan, you know. I would have a little bit of dairy. I've not really been very big on dairy anyway, you know. Like ever since I was a kid, milk is fucking gross, dude. You know, it's just always been nasty to me. I've never liked it. Never liked it. I've never liked drinking milk. It's like, ugh. And like cheese, I do dig cheese though. I do dig cheese, but just if I have a glass of milk in front of me, just the thought that I'm drinking cow titty juice. It's so gross, dude. I've always been like, ugh, milk is nasty. You know, I'd have to put chocolate in it and drink chocolate milk. And even at that, I can't really think too much about what I'm doing, you know? And then especially when my kids were babies. Oh, and they throw up milk on you. Oh, that even ruined it even more. Even more. Oh man, you ever had a baby throw up milk on you? It's so gross, dude. Oh, it's nasty. Beans and protein. Well, you know, I've been hearing an awful lot here lately. There's this doctor that I kind of follow on like Instagram and Facebook who talks about how deadly we're actually not really supposed to eat beans. You know, they have, I think he said lectins. Is that what they're called? That have to be cooked out of them. He said that if you were to eat 5 raw, um, is it kidney beans? 5 raw kidney beans, it would kill you. You know, is that 100% true? I don't really know. I don't care because beans aren't part of my diet. But yeah, I did think that was interesting. I was like, huh. He's not the first person I've heard say that, though, that beans are really not something humans are supposed to be eating because the lectins, I think he said they're lectins that have to be cooked out of them. And if you don't cook it out of them, that it can kill you. It can coagulate your blood or some shit like that. I was like, damn, dude. You know, is that what it is? Lectins? Yeah, that's what I thought. Something like that. But they're really not a part of my diet, so I don't really care. I like them though. Bush's baked beans, ooh, dude, I love them things. Blue milk at Star Wars. Beans are hard to digest. Yeah. Obviously. Obviously, your body has a hard time digesting them. Make you fart like a motherfucker, boy. That's not normal, you know. Something's going on in there. If you're, you know, you're constantly blowing up with air bubbles inside of you. Something's going on, you know. Something's going on. I'm gonna have to get off here in a couple minutes, though. I don't know what the kids are doing down the hall there, but gonna be time to wake up the little lady. Go see what the kids are up to. I'll probably cook them pancakes for breakfast. But yep, I had to get on here and have my weekend routine, my chit chat routine. I dig it, man. This sets a good tone. Whenever I chat in the morning, like on the weekends, it sets a good tone for the rest of the day, you know. Trying to figure out what else I'm going to do on my main channel, too. Past couple days, Well, okay, so for the month of March, I really pumped out as much as I could, and honestly, just to see um, how much I could do. You know, I wanted to see how much I could do while still doing personal readings. So I've been pumping out lots more content, and I've been like throughout the month of March, I was like, I don't care how many personal readings I do, I'm gonna do as much on my main channel as I can. And I did that. I stuck it out for a whole month. Got a pretty good check coming too, pretty good one. But now for the past couple days, I've been like, oh, I've been kind of resting on the main channel. But I got the bonuses to finish up. I still got Aquarius and Pisces to do. And then I might do an all signs weekly forecast or something like that. Something like that. I don't know, but I'm going to be figuring all that out today. And other than that, we're just going to see what we can get into for Easter. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, though, y'all. Hopefully, I'll be back on like this evening or something on my main channel. I want to do at least like 4 videos today of some sort. I don't even know what they're going to be yet. But anyway, I'll see y'all later on this evening, all right? Have a good one. Happy Easter.